Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'll be discussing what I think is the best budget headset to get if you're looking to produce music. Now, in this video, I'll be going over kind of my opinions across a few different headsets that I've had, and which one of them all I recommend the most, because there is kind of a definitive one. I'm actually thinking about upgrading my headset right now, but I'm going to go from like a budget option, which I've ended up with, to something very high-end, and I do look forward to doing another video as well talking about like how much better that actually is, if substantial or not, because I think that would be important to talk about. But of course, if you're ever in the position where like you're just getting started with, say, music production, and you want to find a good headset to use, because I think headsets do have a lot of benefits. For example, like you might not be able to treat your room entirely, but with a headset you don't really have to worry about that. That's really good to think about. But if you're just looking forward to like getting started and you want a good headset to get great results on, I think I have the answer as to what I would recommend. So in the past, I've had a few headsets. I've had a pair of Beyerdynamic DT770s. I also had the 990 Pros from them, and I've had a few others as well. But my absolute favorite is the HD600s. Now, the Sennheiser HD600 headphone usually goes for about $350 right now. I pulled it up on their website, and it looks like the retail price is $450, but it's on sale right now. But I've found it for $350 almost all the time in different locations. So that's about the budget that you would be spending, and I think for that price, this is the best one you could get. There are a couple of downsides, and I will mention those right away. I think the bass on these headphones is not the best. I actually run a permanent EQ that's just going all the time. That boosts my sub just a little bit, and I think that was really necessary. If I ever take that off, I think it sounds noticeably worse. It's just really lacking there until you do some kind of boost. But that's not something you should really be afraid of doing, I think. It does have like a reason to do it. You're not just boosting because you want to boost your bass. And it's just kind of boosting out of necessity. But I think with that boost on, it sounds great. The bass never seems weak to me as long as I have that, so that's something to keep in mind. That was like the biggest kind of con of those headsets. But I absolutely love that otherwise. I think it's got great high-end. When I had the 990 Pros previously, I think those ones, the reason that I ended up changing and upgrading was that it was just too treble heavy. I find me personally with my ear, high treble tends to annoy me. Guess you could say that's like treble sensitive in a way, but I think those ones were just too bright. Whereas these, nothing sticks out as really being like a problem area. It just ends up working, sounding flat and good, which is what you want in a headset. I've been looking at the HD800S to upgrade to, which is basically, general like reviews I've read on it say it's like an HD600, but just kind of better in every way. Like it's got a much wider soundstage. The bass presence is a lot more substantial, even though like even on those people say the bass thing is the weakest, but compared to the 600s, it's a lot more present. But obviously that's the difference between like a budget going into it headset versus a high-end one. And you don't want to necessarily go in and just spend all the money on like a high-end headset prior to knowing like this is something you're going to stick with. I think for me, in my personal use case, I know that music production is something that I love and I'll probably be doing for many, many years. So I'm kind of more okay with going for something high-end. But like I say, if you're just getting into it, I've used the HD600 since I think maybe 2018 is when I bought them. So it's been a lot of years now. And the biggest thing I could say about them is that I do not need to upgrade. Obviously, I did mention I want to, and I've been eyeing something that's on the high end. But throughout that whole process of like researching different headsets, I've realized like I don't need to. There's nothing that's holding me back on these. I have no complaints, honestly. It's just something I want to try out anyway, but I'm not upgrading because the headset is holding me back in any way. Now, I'm on the website reading about this, and it says a lot of good things about this headset. The HD600 is the audio purist's choice for reference playback. That means, of course, that you want this if you're making music because you're using it to like reference stuff. You're not necessarily just trying to get the most exciting listening experience. Ideally, if you're producing, you want something that's pretty flat, reasonably flat anyway. So that way you can make something, design something that would sound good on really any headset. As an instrument of Sennheiser's passion for perfect sound, it is globally recognized as the standard for analytical high-fidelity listening even 20 plus years after its release. So this isn't even a new headset, but people are still going to this one 20 years later, and I can honestly say I highly recommend this one. This headset is open back, so that means you are going to hear like room noise. It's not a closed back, it's not going to isolate, but I think arguably that is the better choice for music production. But that's something very important to keep in mind, because say you're in an environment where that's not gonna fly, that's something you absolutely want to know in advance. But those are my overall opinions on that headset. I really like it. I hope this video did help you out. If it did, be sure to drop a like on it to show your support, as that does help me, and subscribe for future music production content as well. But as well in the comments, let me know what you think of this headset if you have it, or if you recommend any other ones. But thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.